Hello again. I wanted to make a quick update on what I've done so far to my MX-5. Um, so first thing, the seatbelt was cutting into my neck on my left shoulder, and as you can see here with the mark, I removed the OEM one and I replaced it with these seatbelt guides from MX-5 Things. And so far, it's been very comfortable. Quality is nice. They come in pairs. So there's one also for the passenger side. But yeah, this is one of the first things I did because it just made it a little bit uncomfortable. Although I'm only 5'9", the fact that my torso is shorter than my legs, proportion-wise, this was cutting into my neck because my shoulder is about here, and this was used to be up here. It would ride into my neck, and it wasn't that comfortable. I would have to constantly readjust it. So that's one of the first things I did. I also got this stubby antenna. It's called the stubby from MX-5 Things also. This is made by Craven Speed. Alright, so this is the passenger side. Another thing I did was I got the WeatherTech floor mats because I didn't want to use the stock OEM ones that the car came with. I just like these more. I have them all in all of my cars. And another thing I did, I mounted this Osmo DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro double-sided adhesive mounts that it came with the camera on one of my cameras. I used that to mount it here, and the other one I mounted using a what is this thing called? I can't remember. Small Rig. Small Rig made this suction cup, single suction cup mount for my other DJI Osmo, and the ESR magnetic phone charging mount. I have this also in my other cars. This is not sold with this. These are two different things, but I love the arms from Apps to Car on Amazon so much that I use their arms for anytime I want to mount an ESR. I think this is the Qi 2 15 watt wireless magnetic charger. So yeah, so this is Apps to Car, this is ESR, and they mate well together. The ball joint is the same size as the phone charger, obviously, so they fit just fine. Normally in my other cars, like my GX, I had the longer arms, which goes up to here maybe, which I did not want for my MX-5 because it's going to be flopping around and the dash isn't that deep. So I got the shorter one, and it's perfect. And then I have this Anker USB-C splitter. A lot of the splitters that you'll find on Amazon are for audio and charging for phones. So it's hard to find a splitter that splits one USB for charging into two charging ports. So I bought this on Amazon. I'm a big fan of Anker brand too, so it helped that they made one. And I use that for charging the phone, and also when I have my Osmo here, I would have a 90-degree USB-C cable that hangs down to about here, and then I would then use this to plug into that. So that turns the one port into my phone charger and a charger for the selfie camera, I guess you can call it. Meanwhile, the other port, I use the ESR cable that came with this to go all the way to the back here to charge this camera, which also is a 90-degree USB-C that goes all the way down to here. And then it would go down to about where the cup holders are, and I would just plug it in like that. And yeah, so that's how I turn 3 USB-C devices using only 2 USB-C ports on the MX-5. Another thing I did was I got this Avilet dash cam from Amazon. I wanted to get the dongle USB port. I think they have the micro USB-C ports for Mazda, Toyota, and a bunch of other cars. I have them in my other cars, which keeps it really neat because you just put your dash cam here, and then you route the cable directly to the port and just charge it. And it taps off of the camera, or if you have the home link rear view mirror, you can tap into that. But the ND doesn't have that in the mirror, and it has like the 12 pin or something. Don't quote me on that. But it doesn't have the 10 pin that some other Mazdas have. And although Donger Technology sells that, I decided to not do that here. And this is very easy to remove, by the way. But I decided not to do that here because I can route easily the cable here, remove this A-pillar panel, route it down inside behind this vent, and then fish it out from the bottom, and then plug it into the hidden, what is that, lighter, cigarette lighter receptacle. So that's how I have it routed down there. And then I just stuffed the access cable behind the this carpet, not the WeatherTech, but the floor mat carpet. I just hid the X's behind there. And yeah, it's very clean. This thing does not get in the way of the passenger's feet because this is deep in here. The feet only go up to about here. So that's the other thing I did. What else did I do? I think that's it so far. I have my mountain bike gloves because I don't have any driving gloves to use. So I'm just using temporarily my brand new mountain bike gloves that I've never used, like one of my extra pairs. And the reason for that is because sometimes I get sweaty hands, and I don't want the sweaty hands on my steering wheel or the shift knob. But mountain bike gloves, as many of you mountain bike might know, the only part that's actually grippy are the index finger and the middle finger on both gloves. So although it has like a suede like material, kind of like the seats, it's not very grippy on the steering wheel. Just FYI. So proper driving gloves are in order, obviously. What else did I do? Let's see. Extra USB-C charging cable. That's it. That's all I did. Is there anything else in here? That's for the lug nuts. I've never actually looked behind here. No, there's nothing in there. Yeah, I didn't do much else to the car. But like I said in my first video, when I first bought the car a couple weeks ago, I don't plan to really modify the car yet. I want to take my time. I'm guilty of always modifying my cars too fast and too soon, and then I end up falling out of love with them. So this time I want to do it right. I want to take my time, really get to know the car, enjoy the car that I paid for, and just drive it. Find places and make memories instead of just modifying. I know it's hard to do because it's exciting when you have something brand new and you just want to buy stuff for it. But this time, besides these accessories, I want to really take my time. But so far, after only one drive, what I can say is that I will definitely be getting coilovers, like any long travel coilovers. I don't know which one yet. Sida, I don't know how to pronounce that, by 949, or the Tecnas, or the Fly Miata Fox, or even their what is that? Conies, or the Goodwin Racing long travel ones. There are a lot of choices, and that's a good thing. The aftermarket for the ND Miata is very healthy, especially because this car's been out for 10 years now. The 2016 model year came out 2015, I believe. So it's 2025, so that's full 10 years. And yeah, the aftermarket is very healthy, and it's a great thing. It's wonderful. That's one of the big advantages of buying one of these cars, because you're spoiled for aftermarket choices, which is great. But yeah, so that's one of the first things I'm gonna get. Anti-sway bar, front and rear, is another thing I'm considering getting. But I think before I even get those, I think the first one I'm going to get is a muffler, or an exhaust, axle back exhaust. These polished ones from that came from factory are very sharp looking. I like the way they look. And they sound nice, but it's not loud enough. It's way too quiet, in my opinion. Not that I want something loud, mind you. I want something that's just reasonable. When you get on the gas pedal, when the RPM picks up, I want it to be just a little bit more audible. And these stock ones are, you can hear them if the roof is down especially, but sometimes it gets drowned out by the AC or even the road noise, and that tells you right there just how quiet these are. Oh, another thing I got are these license plate frames, which are these rubber ones. I also have these in all my cars. And I like that because I don't like the metal ones that eventually, from the vibrations, they eventually create like a rectangular, what is that, like a rectangular mark on your bumper. Now these, if there's enough sand or grit or whatever that gets behind it, they'll start rubbing. I get that, but if you just wash behind here every so often when you wash your car, it should be fine. So yeah, that's all I've done so far to my MX-5. I just washed it yesterday. It's the second time I've ever washed it. I would like to take it to get detailed one of these days, but I don't know when I'll have the time, because like these, I don't know if you can see it, but these marks, they're not scuffs. They're like they're marks left from, I don't know if this is visible. They're marks left from like when the car had like stickers everywhere. I've never seen them before, because usually the dealership does like a detail on the car when you buy them, but this time I didn't get that done. So I would like to get it detailed properly, where they can clay bar this whole thing and remove all these marks. You know, before they, I don't know what happens. Maybe they become permanent damage to the paint, but I would like that removed sooner rather than later. There's more here, right there. You can see they look like streaks. Now you can barely feel them on the surface, so I think getting this decontaminated, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, getting this decontaminated is definitely in order for me. Yeah, so that's it. That's the update so far. There'll be more videos coming. I'm excited to drive these, go on adventures and all that. So keep a lookout for future videos. Later.